This is the most difficult material to forge in Forged in Fire. Steel wool with high carbon content. It looks loose and fluffy. The forging difficulty is off the charts. One wrong move will cause the contestants to fail on the spot. To test the contestants' skills, the program team specially sourced this devilish material. They required the contestants to forge a short blade, with an edge length between 25 and 30 centimeters within 3 hours. Looking at the pile of fluffy steel wool in front of them, the contestants were all at a loss for ideas. But to forge this unyielding steel wool into a billet, the canister Damascus technique was clearly the best choice. As an experienced veteran bladesmith, after sorting out his forging plan, Bud was the first to start filling the canister. He first slathered the release agent all over the iron can. Then, without even waiting for a moment, he stuffed the steel wool directly into the can. He didn't give a second thought that this hasty move might make the subsequent canister removal process much more difficult. Doing the same as Bud was the equally impatient Ryan. Before the applied release agent could dry completely, he filled the can with steel wool. In his rush, he made a mistake accidentally. He even threw the iron can flying. Fortunately, there was no major problem. Although Wesley had never tried canister Damascus before, watching the two next to him filling and heating their canisters, he followed suit. He poured the release agent into the iron can. Then he filled it with steel wool. Thanks to his quick learning ability, he picked up the shoddy canister forging technique in minutes. Unlike the anxious moves of the previous 3 contestants, Steve worked in a steady, meticulous manner. After filling the can with steel wool, he didn't rush to weld and heat it. Instead, he sprinkled iron powder carefully into the gaps of the can. After ensuring the can was completely filled with no gaps left, he then clamped the can to the fire tongs and squeezed it. This was to avoid serious air bubbles from forming in the steel billet. An hour later, Ryan was the first to get his red-hot can. After using the hydraulic press to fuse the can, came the crucial step of canister removal. But the next moment, when he peeled off the outer steel layer, an unexpected scene unfolded. The inner steel had not fused completely at all. Looking at the billet with some steel wool still exposed, Ryan had no choice but to start all over again. Also encountering an accident was the overconfident Bud. After getting his red-hot can, Bud used the hydraulic press to fuse it right away. Unfortunately, he failed to control the technique and force properly. After a round of pressing, instead of achieving fusion successfully, he deformed the iron can. To keep up with the progress, Bud resolutely cut off the defective edges of the billet. After quickly removing the can with his skilled hands, he put the steel billet into the fire. He began the heat treatment process. Wesley also finished fusing his can. He set out to try removing the can, but due to his lack of experience, he couldn't get the can off no matter what he did. Considering the limited time left, Wesley immediately decided to start forging a new one.